Hello, everyone. You are so welcome. I'm so glad you took the time to hop onto this call tonight. I'm Elmien. Together with me tonight presenting will be Gazelle. She is on the screen that says Javi Solis. I would firstly just like to say that I recently heard someone say that the world is hurting both financially and in health. And that is absolutely so true. So we have a solution for all of the health hurts and for all of the financial hurts, and we'd like to share all of that with you tonight. So open up your minds, listen to what we have to say, and please do go back to the person who invited you to this webinar with any questions or if you'd like more information. And so on that note, I'd like to hand over to Giselle to kick off this lovely presentation for us.
Thank you so much, Elmien, and to everyone on the call. Please kindly just mute yourself so that we don't have any background disturbance. I'll see what I can do from my side now. Like Elmien said, I am Gazelle van Zyl. I'm not Javi. Javi can't be with us tonight. He travels a lot because he makes a difference right across the world. So that's wonderful. We aspire to be like Javi. So I also want to add that you also get back to the person who invited you to this and give them a big thank you, because they didn't want you to be left behind when it comes to this beautiful technology. So I'm going to do a screen share. It's always nice if we can see, then we just understand so much better. So the question is, have you been patched yet? This presentation will be on the X39 stem cell reactivation technology in a simple patch. I don't have my patches with me, but you can see on this lovely lady's arm, there's an example of the patches. It is absolutely incredible. But first, I'd like to introduce you to David Schmidt. So David is the CEO of the company Lifewave, and that is to whom X39 belongs. It's their product. And he's the inventor of the X39. He holds over 200 patents. At this stage, 2 weeks ago, he got his 200th patent. He's a scientist and an inventor, and he specializes in age reversing. Guys, not anti-aging, in age reversing. David, as you can see him here on the left, is 60 years old, and he's got the vascular age of a 35-year-old man. He's healthy, he's living his absolute best life because of this beautiful technology, X39, that we are so excited about. So in 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research. And the recent patent, when he started with the X39, it took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. Here is an example of one of the patents, and I'm just going to read you. Embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants. I'm going to continue in the fine print because this is golden. Reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, improved wound healing. Isn't that just incredible? So if you know anything about a patent, you know it's not an easy process to get even just one. Literally, I only know one other person personally with a patent, and that's my brother, and it took him years to get one single patent on something he designed. So to have 200 is incredible. David is so well known as a scientist, and he's absolutely remarkable. So why the X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, it's very simple. The fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Bottom line. So we start off in utero when we're in our mommy's belly by just being stem cells, known as embryonic stem cells. Those stem cells are blank cells. They've not yet differentiated into another cell to form the baby. So from that, the differentiation takes place. Then skin cells, muscle cells, nerve cells, bone cells, all your organs, everything that you are was started as stem cells. Okay, so that's the significance of a stem cell. So hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging because of a reduction in active stem cells. At the age of 30, we only have less than 0.5% of our stem cells that's still active. And at the age of 60, we only have 10% left, still doing the work that needs to be done. So they didn't disappear out of your body. They didn't all die. They become dormant, and they just sit there in our bodies, not doing anything. So that's why this patch is so phenomenal, because the patch, as soon as you put it on your body, it sends a biochemical message to your brain, telling your body to wake up those inactive stem cells, alongside elevation of copper peptide and all those beautiful things we read on the patent. So how does this patch work? It sounds very wow, but how does it actually work? So it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. I want you to think of this patch mainly as a little reflective mirror. It's as simple as that. It's made up of nanocrystals. So it's small little crystals of salt, sugars, amino acids, and water molecules that is in a crystal form. And it's actually embedded between two pieces of adhesive. So it's embodied into that, which makes it more simple to understand that nothing is going into your body. It's just a mirror. Think of a mirror shining back light into your body, but with the exact frequency that reactivates your own inactive stem cells. That's why it took David 10 years to get it right. And that's why the name is X39, because it was his 39th attempt to get that frequency exactly right to elevate the copper peptide and all those beautiful biochemical reactions in your body. So it's non-transdermal. It's not giving off anything in your body. Doesn't have any drugs, chemicals, or stimulants in. It's natural nanocrystal technology. It's non-invasive. It's not difficult. It's not painful. You literally put the patch on your body, and you continue with your life with amazing effects. Here are some of those benefits: increased strength, mental clarity, reduced inflammation, restored muscle and skeletal conditions, increased stamina, improvement of sleep, energy and vitality, and improved skin appearance. When we read just this, I said, you know what, let's put this patch on my body. And I'm sure if you can look at that list and you don't list at least 4 that can benefit your life, you are one lucky human being. All right, so this is a topography map of a 77-year-old woman's brain. A lot of these scans and tests and studies have been done on numerous people. There are more than 80 published studies on X39, and this is one of the scans that was done. So in session 1, there's no X39 on this lady's body. The red indicates inflammation, and you can see there's quite a bit of inflammation, and inflammation is always bad. We're never going to say, yes, I've got inflammation in my body. Never. We need to get our inflammation markers as low as possible. Otherwise, all our healthy cells are just fighting inflammation. All right, so it's also important to note when she came in, it was noted that her brain was very hyperactive. So there was a lack of brain coherence, and she was hyperactive. 2 weeks on X39, just by putting it at the back of her neck every day for 3 weeks, there was no more inflammation. You can see the red is gone, and there's improved brain coherence that they measure with other studies and things. So then in session 3, 6 weeks on X39, there's a complete turnaround and better brain coherence. So after session 2, she already started to have the feeling of a calm down brain, and it remained calm while she continued with this journey. That's what's beautiful about this patch. If you wear it and you wear it right, the benefits keeps on increasing in your body. All right, so here are some of the long-term results. And these are as per case studies done. And you can look at these case studies on thisisit.info.com. So within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset in your body. Isn't that incredible? We have always thought, oh, Jan, you know, I just have bad genes. It's just the way it is. Well, wonderful news. We can change our genes and we can change our gene expressions. And this is like the first step of it, because it's like hitting the restart on your genes. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. We just looked at that topography map, and from doing scans like that, we see that the brain becomes balanced, which also reduces symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. So collagen is not just to look pretty and feel pretty. It's not just about wrinkles and not having gray hair. It is so much more. Collagen is our most abundant protein in our bodies, and all our organs, everything we are, needs collagen to function at its best. So obviously, as we age, we see a reduction in collagen. That's why we have the painful joints. That's why we have, I always say, the Rice Krispie joints. It's click, clack, click, clack every time you get up, and you need to get into it before you can just move freely. That's not the way it's supposed to be. We see it because we have more wrinkles, we have less hair, all of that. But on our insides, we can't see on our insides. And there's also a reduction of collagen in there. So within 3 months, just by putting a simple patch on your body, without anything bad happening to you, all benefits, your collagen is also increased. Then within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. This is incredible. 14 out of the 15 people that was in the study, their heart age, their vascular age, they've got all kinds of fancy ways to measure this in the medical world. It actually reversed by an average of 8 years after just patching 6 months with X39. So it's true what David Schmidt says. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So how do we wear this patch? It is so simple. You literally patch yourself 12 hours on per day and 12 hours off to give your body time to repair and rejuvenate. And then the next day you do the same thing. Here it says, then you throw the patch away. We're a nice, small, intimate group. Guys, we don't throw our patches away. I'm just honest. We squeeze everything out of it. So I started patching 10 months ago for an autoimmune condition that I've had for 24 years. The past 8-9 years, I've spent my time trying to teach people how to eat better, to feel better, using nutrition as a modality of healing. And I couldn't heal or recover from my autoimmune condition. Then my son, who was then only 5, also started to show the symptoms of the same autoimmune condition. I was devastated. So I thought, after Tanya, thank you, Tanya. That's why I say you will thank the person who invited you to this call when you start with this, because it's a life changer. Then I started patching myself, and I patched my son the next day with my used patch. Okay, get back to the person who invited you. They'll give you the nice details. Then the next day you put a new patch on yourself and you repeat. And you can wear more than one patch at a time. This company has existed for 20 years. Before the X39 was launched, there's other patches as well, great patches. But the primary patch, the foundation patch, is X39. But it's nice to note that it won't interfere with each other. It works in synergy with each other. And then drink plenty of water. Water is important for cell communication. You can't put the patch on your body and you are so dehydrated. Now you have new stem cells sitting there happy to do something, but your heart can't send the message and say, yo, I'm in trouble, I need new cells, because you're simply dehydrated. So drink plenty of water. It will also help with the detoxing, because obviously the faulty cells needs to go somewhere. The damaged cells needs to be excreted. And there's only 2 ways of excretion, urine and sweat. That's as easy as that. And for both of those, you need water. All right, so X39 is so sophisticated. It's really like this wow patch. And what I've come to realize more and more nowadays is let's not try to understand everything because it's so simple. Put it on your body, feel better. As simple as that. And we've got so many amazing, life-changing, emotional testimonies. Some days I open my phone and I just cry because it's beautiful to hear from people and say, yo, you know what? After years of struggling, I'm now thinking of Tani Elise. I come from another town. I grew up there and I've only been living here for 4 years in Port Elizabeth. And she had a stroke 8 or 9 years ago and she never fully recovered from that. Then she kept on seeing me on my Facebook, and she's like, okay, I know this child. Not that I'm a child anymore, but I was a child who grew up in front of our eyes. And she said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And then 3 weeks later, I get a message, my child, this has changed my life completely. How do I order more? And that is the things that we wake up to every single day. And with that, I would like to ask Elmien to share a little bit on her testimony.
Thank you, Gazelle. I completely agree with you. The amounts of stories that come through that just blows my mind weekly is phenomenal. And my personal testimony is one that I had to be very patient for, but also one that surprised me. Coming out of physiotherapy, when I started patching, I had high expectations on the body improvement things. I was excited for my knees to be better and for my hip joint problem to be solved and all sorts of physical things. And I saw the difference it could make because my mother had hip, knee, shoulder replacements. And I just saw this and knew I'm not going to go this route. But what surprised me most is my testimony in the end is one of mental health. And I didn't see it coming because as you learn and grow, initially you really don't know much and you get exposed to a few testimonies that becomes more later. But I realized that I didn't get a lot of exposure to mental health testimonies. So I think I didn't even realize that I might even possibly see this. But very long story short, with the guidance of my doctor, I could go from the worst possible spot I was in earlier last year, where I was on 2 different medications that were to their max for depression and anxiety, an SSRI and SNRI for people who know medications. And then also another little pill that if I really had a panic attack, I could put under my tongue. And for me, I've never liked taking chemical medication. So the last 4 or 5 years being on it has been a constant striving to get off it. I made peace when I was on it that if I had to be on it for life, that's fine. I definitely don't judge people who need to take medication, but I always really wanted not to forever be on it. So when I started the journey of weaning off, actually initially accidentally, but worked with my psychiatrist and I could get to the point where I weaned myself completely off the medication, I initially didn't do well right as I came off. But the little disclaimer I want to add in there is at the exact same time, I decided to stop patching, but for financial reasons. And then only afterwards, I figured everything out and I put the pieces together and I realized that the patches was what was helping me to get off this medication. So I stopped the medication and I stopped the patches at almost the same time. And so, but also in retrospect, like hindsight is 2020, it was easy to look back and to put all of these pieces together. While I was in it, I still wasn't understanding really what was happening. But so I went back onto the patches as quickly as I can and back onto my medication because a friend actually said, sure, sorry that you're taking this expensive patches and it's not even really making a difference because, you know, everyone's eyes are on you now that you are taking this strange patch because no one knows what you're busy with. You're wearing this white thing and everyone's like, what's going to happen next in Elmien's life? It's almost like a movie. And so my friend actually saying that made me realize, oh, but wait, I stopped the patches and the medication at the same time. So I very responsibly did the patches and the medication for a bit again. And then earlier in this year, when I tried going off the medication, it went smoothly and easily with almost no side effects. Some headaches for about 2-3 days, but not even enough to take pain medication for it. And a bit of a buzzing that went on for about a month to 6 weeks. But I was aware that that was what was happening. So it wasn't in any way a problem, and I don't have it at all anymore. And so I can officially say that it's now been 3 months that I am completely off all anxiety medication, depression medication. I don't need it. I feel more stable than ever before. I only now realize the side effects that I had that I didn't even realize I had. My life is such a more beautiful and pleasant place. It literally feels like I have a weighted blanket over my inside. I feel so calm and collected and put together. And to be honest, we're still in a difficult financial season of our lives, and I'm not experiencing any anxiety. So it's not that I'm in a place of not having anxiety and life is beautiful. Life is hard. Life is really hard for us right now. And I have no anxiety. It is the strangest but most beautiful thing to experience. So me personally, I will never not patch ever again in my life. Because I then later, because Gazelle asked me to do a presentation for physiotherapists, went to actually go and read the research, and only then the last piece of the puzzle came together. And I understood with the brain balancing and the GHK peptide, which is the peptide that stimulates the stem cells, all of the research available that shows that this actually increases tryptophan, which is your serotonin, etc. I'm not going to bore you with all of the things that make me excited, because I understood then what was happening. And I actually love that it happened in that order. So no one can tell me this was a placebo effect, or you read the research and you knew what was going to happen. It surprised me. It blew my mind. And I am walking in the freedom of it daily, and I am loving it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to say, I see Lee in the chat. Elmien, can I chat to you more? You are so welcome to send me a message and chat to me. If you'd like, you can go and look for me on Facebook if you want to. Please do go back to the person who referred you for more information, but I don't mind sharing more of my story and answering questions and going into more detail if someone would like to know that.
Oh, that's just such a story of hope. Because myself, I also battled with anxiety and depression. I wasn't medicated, but listen, some days I took 6 ashwagandhas just to get through life. And Tanya knows. I said within the first few days, it's like, Tanya, my brain isn't vibrating in my skull anymore. Yes. And then there was a short period when I did run out, and I thought, it's okay, but it was still within, I just started 2 or 3 months. And then my brain started to vibrate again. I'm like, Tanya, just give me a patch for 2 or 3 days. Mine is on its way. And literally half an hour later, I said, Tanya, my brain is calm. So it's phenomenal. I think it's a beautiful way to move away from those bad, negative medication. But as Elmien said, do it with your doctor, so that you don't get withdrawals and all of that craziness. All right. Now I'm going to hand over to Elmien. I just quickly want to make sure that everyone is muted before I go off.
Yeah. Well,
and she's going to...
Yeah. I just want to say a small little thing while you're putting the slides back on. So for expectation, I do want to say my hip is still sore and my knees are still not perfect. But I am still going on and pushing through, but I want everyone to know that this takes time. My testimony took 9 months for me to get to this point. I'm so thankful I held on, and I'm still building my testimony. I can't wait to share all of it later on. But so I want to encourage all of you to commit for the long term. Don't look at this as a short-term fix for something, because if I stopped 3 months in or 6 months in, I would not have been where I am today. So I want to encourage everyone thinking about this. Keep going. All right. So then a lot more testimonies on our website. This is at info.com. Please go there and look at the testimonies. The research that proves that these patches really do what they say they do is on the website. More information on the patents, literally anything you want to know, you'd be able to find on this website. And then I would like for you to learn a little bit more about the company. So it's my privilege to share a little bit more about Lifewave. Lifewave, the company that makes these X39 patches, are 20 years old. We'll be turning 21 this year. So we're a nice, strong company. But the beauty for this company happened in 2019 when the X39 was brought to market. So the company was a good, stable, strong company. And then suddenly they went from doing 20 million in sales a year up in 2022 to 320 million in sales a year, and then 430. And we're actually aiming and looking at going $1 billion in sales for this year. So that should tell you that there must be something in this little patch, because they made patches before and none of the other patches gave the company this growth. And the moment they brought out X39, something amazing happened. And this would definitely not happen if this patch wasn't doing all of these things that the testimonies are saying that this patch is doing. We're open actually in over 80 countries currently, and no one else is allowed to make patches like this. Because of those 200 patents, we have at least another 15 years of X39 being the product that Lifewave brought to market and that no one else is allowed to copy. So no one can tell you they have what we have. It's not like being in a market where I have previously been in a weight loss market, and it was such a struggle to try and convince people that my weight loss product is better than someone else's. And we don't have it here. We have such a unique product that no one else has. Lifewave also for the year 2023 as well as 2024 was ranked the #1 momentum company by an independent businessforhome.org company. So they actually look at direct selling companies, of which we are one, and it's a network company, and that's why we get to promote the product for Lifewave. And we actually #1 2 years in a row, and we have won Bravo Awards, and we are doing phenomenal. We are part of the This Is It team, and this is one of the conventions that was held in America by the This Is It team. So we are currently the fastest growing team inside direct selling on the planet. That's absolutely phenomenal. So if you ever were thinking of looking at working in a team, looking at network marketing, then why would you not want to do it in the fastest growing team on the planet? That also must give you some confidence in what we're trying to tell you tonight. And I don't know where you're at. Maybe you want to spend more time with family. Maybe you want to travel. I personally want to have less dates. All of us have a reason that we would love to have an extra income. And the opportunity that we have for you tonight is to not only experience the healing of a patch in your health, but also to experience the healing of this amazing product in your finances. And this is truly something, without making any claims on income, that can make a difference for you, depending on how much time you're going to put in or how hard you're going to work. This will pay. If it is only to pay for your own patches, or if it is to create an income big enough to do big things, then you are at the right place at the right time with the right product. We have a phenomenal compensation plan. It is the best I have seen, and I have been in previous companies, as I've said. This compensation plan really has been put together to help you earn. So if you're completely new to network marketing, or MLM or direct selling, the whole idea is that you get to tell people about this amazing product, and the company reimburses you for that. So you get paid a commission, is almost the easiest way to explain it for you to understand. But we're not only just getting paid a commission. We have 4 different ways of earning inside this company, and of which the nicest ways that we are earning, and a way that you can in future have a passive income, is what we call the binary plan. So binary meaning 2. So when you start telling people about this, you put them either on your left leg or you put them on your right leg. And that then creates volume of people underneath you buying the product. And all of that volume puts over into dollars into your bank account. So yes, we buy and sell in dollars because we're in 80 countries. So we can impossibly be marketing this for every different currency. So you just go and do the currency changeover for you. But in South Africa, because we're almost at 20 rand to $1, making $1 already makes a big difference for us. And so with this specific binary way of earning, it means that if you tell people and they tell people and they tell people, all of the people that I've heard because you told someone, all of that volume adds up to become a lot of money in your bank account. They do cap this specific way of earning to $25,000 per week, which is lovely, I must say. All right, you can go to the next slide, Gazelle. Another way that we are earning is what is called the matching bonus. This is the not so passive way of earning. This is where you directly get bonuses because you help people make a success of this business. So if I sign Gazelle up today and I help her to grow her business, I get rewarded for her doing well. So this is the part of the income generating, where as you are helping people, the company rewards you by giving you a percentage of what the person that you enrolled is actually making in bonuses. So that's the more complicated ways of earning. You can always just also buy and sell, which is absolute just retail profits. Or then the other way would be if people sign up on different packages, you get an amount paid the moment they sign up. So these are the different packages available when you sign up. And so for the people interested in buying in, it is always just more bang for your buck if it is possible for you to start on what we call the core or advanced packaged. If you're in the business, you get a bonus when you sign someone up on the core, advanced, or premium packages. So on the core package, when you start, you get 3 sleeves of X39, sleeve being this beautiful envelope with 30 patches inside it. So it's enough for one person for 1 month. But then as Gazelle said, we recycle a bit. On the advanced package, it is 6 sleeves. And then if you are a medical professional or someone who would like to go into retail selling, it is such a good idea to start on premium. You really get the best price per sleeve, and you have 20 sleeves that you can sell or even hand out to everyone around you. And again, back to the website, this is at info.com. But now looking at it from a perspective where you are someone interested in this business. And I know when you start, you don't have the words to explain all of this. This is why we have amazing webinars where you can invite people to, but also the amazing website, this is at info.com, where you can send prospective clients to. So you don't have to, on day one, understand everything. You can use the tools that we as a team provide for you to grow your business. This is a team.com is a website where we train you on the business side of things, on how to do this, on how to make your business a success and talk to people about this phenomenal patch. So I am pretty sure that all of you, each and every one of you, did not end up in this call today by accident. And I honestly don't think you have to sit on this for very long. When my friend told me, do this, I didn't think about it. I hopped on, and it was the best decision I have made. If I can look at the top 10 decisions of my life, maybe even the top 5 decisions of my life, this has been one of the best decisions I have made. There's absolutely no side effects to putting this onto your skin. So you have no reason to not try it. And on the business side, why would you not opt for something that can, in a few weeks, few months, or a few years' time, give you the financial freedom that you have been praying for? So I'm telling you today that I actually don't think that you have a reason not to do this. If you have a very good reason not to do this, get back to the person who invited you in any case and share that very good reason. But otherwise, I want to tell you, trust me, take my faith, hop on, do this, learn as you go, and thank us later, whether it's 1 week, 6 months, or a year later. I know there's going to be a point where you say thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Elmien. And I cannot agree more. And I see Tanya nodding, so I know she agrees. And some of the other people on the call that's been doing this for a while. It was absolutely life-changing for me and my family as well. Tanya knows, when I started, I had 22 Rand in my bank account. And I said, I need this, but I don't have the money for it. And I made a plan. So there's always a way to make a plan. Like Elmien said, you can also sell it from your hand. I'll share what I did because it brings hope. I literally wanted to, which was then similar to the advanced, I got orders and I added a little bit. And thanks to a wonderful prayer that was heard, a friend donated the last to me that she didn't even know I needed money, but she just knew and God told her. And from having 22 Rand in my bank account, I now earn enough every week that I can cover my 2 sleeves of X39 per week. So you can imagine what it's doing in my life, coming from ashes to actually experiencing not having to tell my children all the time, sorry, I don't have money. So this is next level for me. I will definitely continue to do this for the long haul, because I've been part of network marketing for many years. Before we moved to Port Elizabeth, I owned my own very successful beauty and slimming clinic in Vicksburg. It was a good income, guys, but you slave away 7 to 7, 7 to 8. Here we have freedom, and we don't have to sell a single thing. You just tell people about this amazing things that's happened. So I want to commend you for your time being here. Like Elmien said, reach out to the people who invited you, the person who invited you. Thank them for exposing you to this. I know it's much to digest. When Tanya reached out to me, I thought, no way. One patch can't do this. Leave me alone. Unfortunately, she followed up with me for 3 weeks, and I made the best decision. Also, I can say what Elmien says. Top 5 decision. I'm going to go to top 3. My husband is number 1. I'm sure Lifewave is number 2. So anyways, you are welcome to stay on this call if you want to. We're going to go into business training now, because we as a team work together to help each other grow where we have strengths. Otherwise, you can just go off the call and have a beautiful evening. I hope you dream about beautiful patches.